They said Caitlin Clark couldn't control a game at the professional level the way she did in college. On Sunday night, she completely destroyed that narrative. Not with scoring alone, not with flashy logo threes, but with total control. Caitlin Clark came one rebound away from a triple-double against the Seattle Storm, and honestly, the box score still doesn't fully explain how dominant she looked.
Right before the break, we got a little John going on. Caitlin says, hey, you and me, Hayes, you and me. This is how you bring the roof down. All tied up here with 5:14 to go.
This wasn't chaotic rookie basketball anymore. This looked calculated, patient, dangerous. And the scariest part for the rest of the WNBA, the Indiana Fever finally looked like a team built around her rhythm, instead of forcing her to adapt to everyone else.
It's out. Clark has it. A logo three for the Unicorn!
And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this game may have been the moment Caitlin Clark officially became unstoppable at the WNBA level.
Pure joy in the arena and forces a quick timeout.
Here, Hull recovered nicely. She started Charles 0 for 3 from the floor. Clark launches and hits!
This wasn't just another Fever win. This felt different, because for the first time all season, Caitlin Clark looked fully in command of everything happening on the floor. Tempo, spacing, defensive reads, transition offense. Even the emotional energy of the game shifted when she took control. And that's what we're breaking down today. Not just the near triple-double itself, but why this performance mattered so much bigger than the stat line.
Clark.
Oh yeah, from deep. Come on. Let's go.
Pure joy hand.
Look at that defense. They say she can't play defense either. Riddle me that. Oh my goodness. Foul. Where's the foul?
Burton with the block defensively. Clark.
No way. Two people on.
Starting to heat up. Clark on the
Foul. Puts it in. Get off. What she gotta do? Get mugged to get a call? What are we doing? Caitlin Clark versus everybody.
Clark.
Oh my goodness, look at the pads. Are you kidding me?
Up Johnson.
Back out.
Into a triple team. Out to Clark. 3 more.
There you go.
Austin wide open and cashes
That's
in
the
for 2.
dagger right there, baby. What a...
We're going to analyze the adjustment Indiana finally made offensively, the specific sequence that completely broke Seattle's defense, and why this performance might change the entire direction of the Fever season moving forward. Because this wasn't random. This looked like a superstar figuring the league out in real time. And once that happens in professional sports, things change fast.
The history for you now. The first rookie triple-double in WNBA history, and then the first for this franchise. What does that mean to you, Caitlin?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're playing good team basketball. Like, my teammates are finishing really well around the rim, and I want to find them. It would have been nice if I could have made a couple more threes. They gave me some good looks, but just happy for our group. A great win, great for our fans, and that's just fun basketball.
The biggest difference in this game? Pace control. That's it. Not shooting. Not hot streaks. Not luck. Control.
Cunningham is down behind the play, but they've got Caitlin Clark to fire.
Earlier this season, there were stretches where Caitlin Clark looked rushed, almost sped up by WNBA physicality and defensive pressure. But against Seattle, she dictated everything. When Indiana needed tempo, she pushed. When the offense got messy, she slowed it down. When defenders trapped her high, she manipulated spacing instead of forcing bad passes. That's veteran-level basketball.
Caitlin also told me that she always thinks of herself as a performer. She thinks of herself as an entertainer, and that's what she wants to go out and do for this crowd, is to put on a show, a performance.
You know, but the difference here is the fact that she's also human, and she's gone through adversity dealing with not being available at the end of last season.
And this is what casual fans miss about Clark's game. The scoring gets headlines. The passing gets clips. But the real evolution is decision-making speed. There were multiple possessions in this game where Seattle's defense actually guessed correctly, and Clark still beat them because she processed the second read instantly. That's elite. One possession in the third quarter perfectly explained the entire night. Seattle shaded two defenders toward Clark above the screen, expecting the pull-up three. Instead, she paused, read the rotation, skipped a laser pass across the court for an open corner shot. That's not just talent, that's control. And once Clark starts controlling defenses mentally instead of reacting emotionally, the entire Fever offense changes shape, because suddenly everyone else becomes more dangerous too. Aaliyah Boston got cleaner touches. The spacing looked wider. Transition lanes opened up. Everything became easier because Clark was manipulating the defense before plays even developed. That's the part that should scare the rest of the WNBA. Not the points, the command. But what made this performance really different wasn't just the offense. It was the way Clark handled pressure physically and emotionally against one of the league's toughest defensive teams. Because there was one moment late in the game where Seattle tried to physically rattle Caitlin Clark, and her reaction told us everything about where her confidence is right now. There's a huge difference between playing well and looking inevitable. Against Seattle, Clark looked inevitable.
Clark with a deep three. Sweet move.
There's that logo three that you've been waiting for.
Clark, nice feed.
The Storm threw multiple defensive coverages at her. Aggressive hedges, traps, physical ball pressure, off-ball bumps. Earlier this year, those tactics sometimes disrupted Indiana's entire offense. This time, Clark adjusted possession by possession. That's superstar growth. And the most impressive part wasn't even her scoring. It was her patience. There were moments where she deliberately passed up difficult shots early, just to manipulate the defense later in the game. That's advanced basketball IQ.
Puts on the brakes, blows by Allen, finds Billy.
Watch how Seattle started overreacting every time she crossed half court. That changes everything strategically. Because once defenders panic about the logo three, passing lanes open, backdoor cuts open, transition becomes lethal. Clark bends defenses before the play even starts. That's Steph Curry level gravity. And this is where Indiana finally deserves credit too. The Fever simplified the offense. Instead of constantly forcing Clark into rigid half-court sets, they let her operate more freely in transition and early offense situations. That decision changed the game. The ball moved faster. Players cut harder. Spacing looked cleaner. For the first time in weeks, Indiana stopped looking tense. They looked dangerous. And emotionally, Clark looked different too. No frustration. No hesitation. No forcing moments. Just confidence. That matters. Because elite athletes become terrifying once confidence matches talent. And honestly, this might have been the first game all season where Clark fully trusted herself against high-level WNBA pressure. But the biggest sign of her evolution came in the fourth quarter when the game got tight. That's where true superstars separate themselves. Because Caitlin Clark didn't just survive crunch time against Seattle. She controlled it. Here's the real takeaway from this game. The Fever finally stopped fighting Caitlin Clark's style of basketball, and the results were immediate. Earlier in the season, Indiana sometimes looked caught between identities. Slow half-court basketball one possession. Fast transition chaos the next. Against Seattle, the identity became obvious. Play fast. Spread the floor. Trust Clark's vision. And suddenly the offense looked alive. This game wasn't just about a near triple-double. It was about proof. Proof that Clark's style can work at the professional level when the system actually empowers it. That's a massive development for Indiana moving forward. Because once players start believing in the system emotionally, confidence multiplies quickly, and you could see that belief spreading across the roster during this game. Players moved harder without the ball. Cuts became sharper. Spacing became instinctive. That only happens when teammates trust the playmaker controlling everything. And right now, Indiana is starting to trust Caitlin Clark completely. That changes the ceiling of this team immediately. And let's talk about the near triple-double itself. Because honestly, the rebounds barely matter. The stat line is impressive. But the real story is this. Clark controlled the emotional temperature of the game from start to finish. That's what MVP level players do. She controlled pace. She controlled spacing. She controlled defensive attention. And eventually she controlled the outcome. That's not rookie hype anymore. That's superstar basketball. And if this version of Caitlin Clark becomes consistent, the rest of the WNBA has a serious problem, because the combination of elite range, elite passing, transition pressure, improving composure, and growing confidence is exactly what unstoppable players are built from. And Sunday night may have been the first real glimpse of that future. So here are the 3 biggest takeaways from Caitlin Clark's near triple-double against Seattle. First, this was her most controlled game of the season. Second, Indiana finally played at her pace instead of fighting her style. And third, the Fever may have officially discovered the identity that unlocks their ceiling moving forward. Next, we're breaking down whether Caitlin Clark is already becoming the most feared offensive creator in the WNBA, and why defenses are starting to panic the moment she crosses half court. So now I want to hear from you. Was this the best all-around game of Caitlin Clark's WNBA career so far? Drop a basketball if you think she's officially figuring the league out, and subscribe to WNBA Shorts for weekly deep dives.